Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We have secured the voice of Avalanche hockey at Ball Arena, all the Super Bowls, NFL Europe games, EA's Madden, Madden, the video game, and, of course, the voice of U.S. Bank Stadium. And it all started in Slayton, Minnesota. Can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause for the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox, Alan Roach, ladies and gentlemen, at Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay, brace yourselves. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Hi, Alan. How are you?
Thank you, Egan.
Yes! How about that?
Read the room, PA. How do you lead with on the announcer for the Avalanche? Way to get stuff thrown at me.
Get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way in quick fire fashion.
Anybody seen the Avalanche record?
No, what are you doing?
You're creating your own enemies here. What are you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, we need security right now to escort the Vox of all boxes ever to Vox back to Ball Arena. Like it said here, it all started in Slayton, Minnesota. He's from Slayton, Minnesota. And the voice, now that I've talked to him, met your brother, you guys came from, he's a limb on the voice tree. Holy cow, his voice is unbelievable like yours. But for those who don't know, your Slayton days, your affinity and affirmation and or love for Minnesota sports teams, like when did that start? And you give all the credit to Slayton, Minnesota for what you're doing right now.
Slayton, Minnesota. I remember my first memories of the Vikings are...
I can't look at you, man, because I just want to yell yes every time you
in talk. Slayton, Minnesota, I'm probably age 3 or 4, and so we're talking 1969, 1970. I remember watching games on the Mankato TV station. Kelloland? Was that what it was?
KYC?
No, that was
maybe?
Sioux Falls. So it was whatever the Mankato station, that I think was the... whoever had the NFC games. And I would sit on the floor watching the Viking game with all of my football cards. I would have the Carl Eller and the Alan Page and the Jeff Seaman and the Roy Winston. And I would set the cards up the way the players were lined up on the TV screen. And as the play would happen, I would run Chuck Foreman around the right end, or I would run Ed Marinaro up the middle, or Brent McClanahan, and he'd fumble, and then I'd tear his card in half. And that's what I remember at age 3 or 4 was where my love for the Vikings started.
Now, you'll notice Alan has a purple and gold bucket with him. If anybody wants him to do a voiceover for $100, just drop it in his bucket. Like, I already put 100 in there, so he'll say, the white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only.
Hold on, please.
Look at that.
This train is departing.
That's the best. How about that? That may just God's gift. What a gift.
All he can say is, how about that?
What a gift.
How about that? Hallelujah. How about that?
That's great. This is really cool. I
Glad you like
get
it.
a chance to listen to these. I live in Denver now, and I get a chance to listen to these on the iHeartRadio app every Friday. And you have in your mind what does it look like, and I guess this is pretty much it. But it's very cool.
It's 8-8
great
radio.
Thing to do it.
It's
How
8
many years have you done this?
15-ish?
09.
Wow.
Yeah, 16 years.
I mean, whether it's Miller, Coors, the Vikings, KFAN, whatever.
So who like comes to at least 3 or 4 every time?
Oh, we've got.
You got some regular.
Yeah, we have frequent feast contributors. But whomever came up with this idea into the 2009 season with Favre, was
that's
timed.
right. I've heard you say that.
Somebody else needs to ask a question other than me.
When did you know that the voice was going to be the moneymaker?
I don't know. I don't think I ever did. I started in radio, was just telling my brother and my wife, I started in radio in 1982 in Brainerd, Minnesota. It was the summer before my junior year of high school.
Wow. So you hit puberty at age 8? Hear that fiendish laugh?
He was a tenor until high school.
I can't look at him.
I just want you to read books. Like, I'd love, like, almost, you mentioned, starting in radio, like Orson Welles style War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
I'd love for you just to read that to me.
Yeah, and you know what? You know how long it takes to read a book?
No,
I don't have that kind of time.
No,
I don't have that kind of time.
Is there a difference Like when you're doing a hockey game and when you're doing a football game, is there a difference, and what would it be?
Well, I mean, from an actual standpoint of what I do, football, I have to watch every play because, like PA does beautiful, flowery, wonderful play-by-play. I do I call skeleton play-by-play. I say, Aaron Jones, the ball carrier, gain of 2, second down and 8. And so I have to watch every play to say all of that stuff. Whereas in hockey, you can be doom scrolling. I learned that word from my daughter yesterday. Doom scrolling, and then they score a goal. Everybody cheers. So you look, oh, okay, and then they give you who scored the goal, and then you say it, and that's all there is in hockey. So it's much different. I like announcing football a lot better for that reason because I'm always engaged.
How did you get through the last one? Because I got a rare Alan Roach text early in the game. Because Alan will come to the Vox Box at US Bank Stadium, and he'll see me on my binoculars with the roster in front of me, and I'm memorizing numbers and body types for the other team. So hopefully I can go quick twitch on it. Alan does a lot of the same stuff. Texted me about 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
What was the text?
It was the Detroit game, right?
Yeah.
I said, I cannot see a single number on the Detroit Lions uniforms.
Right.
The black uniforms with the blue numbers.
Vox
I
problems.
could not see a single number. Mm-hmm. No idea.
How'd you guys get over that?
Why, he's got binoculars. I have a spotter that I just relied on more and more. I asked the spotter who caught it, who threw it, who ran it, who tackled, who.
Yeah.
I should just give him the mic.
What do you like about living in Colorado?
The weather's pretty amazing. We have, and probably here too, anywhere across the United States, this time of year, you watch national news and they'll show 7 feet of snow and a snow plow going up the mountains, and the snow is high. They're just outside of Denver, so people think that's what Denver is. Mm-hmm. Denver's a desert. You know what the temperature was on Christmas Day in Denver? 70.
Jeez.
Wow.
We had, in the month of December, 16 days above 60 degrees this December. That's what Denver is.
All right.
You'll get snow, and we have 320 days of sunshine a year.
I'm moving to Denver.
So is everybody else. And that's subsequently over the last 10 years, the housing prices and stuff like that. Woo!
I've lived there 30 years. When I got there, the metro was 2 million. It's almost 5 million now.
All right. Conversely, what do you not like about living in Colorado?
The roads. They never built roads in Colorado. and that's just kind of what we're talking about. In the last 30 years, it's gotten more than twice the size, twice the population. All they do is, let's build houses, let's build hospitals, let's build schools, let's build buildings, let's build. Oh, we need some roads. Well, just kind of curl a road around it. You'll be fine. We have no freeways. We have a freeway that goes this way and a freeway that goes that way, and that's it. So good luck getting from the southwest to the northeast.
Despite your Minnesota Vikings not making the playoffs this season, correct me if I'm wrong here, Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox, you always enjoy when they beat Green Bay and you're on the microphone, right?
I think, yes, absolutely. And
What is there an opening in Lambeau coming up?
Hated the shiny yellow pants, going all the way back to 4 years old with the football cards on the floor. I think wasn't the first game I ever did in US Bank Stadium. The first game, that was the Packers, right?
It was.
So it couldn't have gotten any better. Do you have any idea what our record is against the Packers in US Bank Stadium? I don't know. I'm going to guess 7-2. 6-3.
We'll find it.
They won in 2022.
You got to go back to 16.
2023 loss.
They won in 16. They won in 17.
I would guess it's a winning record and by more than just one. They played 9, so.
And to close this segment, then we'll chat about the Vikings, get a little nostalgic with some of these Super Bowls that Alan has voxed as the voice of the Super Bowl, like in the stadium, man. It's super cool. I thought there was an outside chance he was going to be here. I don't think he's here unless he's hiding. But our boss with the Vikings and the Vikings Entertainment Network, Brian Harper, is departing for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Would you have been the voice of US Bank Stadium without Harper being like, well, Mr. Wilf and Mr. Warren and everybody else. You say you want the best in your most visible spots or whatever, or period. We got to go get this guy. Is that how it went down?
Yes. And I met Brian Harper, who has been with the Vikings for 22 years.
Yep.
He worked as a contract employee with the company that produced the post-game Super Bowl show where they give away the trophy. And so it's kind of funny whenever you look back at the post-game trophy presentations, there's Terry Bradshaw, there's the commissioner. You can always see Brian Harper's face in there somewhere too. That was his job, was to make sure people in the right spot on that stand. Well, when I met him 16 years ago and learned that he was with the Minnesota Vikings, every time our group would go to dinner on Friday night, and I'd see him only once a year, every time our group would go to dinner on Friday night, there'd be 20 people. I would always sit right next to Brian Harper and just say, man, I would love to be the voice of the Minnesota Vikings one day. And then when the new stadium came around, there was an opportunity, and Hart made it happen.
Yeah,
sure.
He's I miss him already, man.
Yeah.
Well,
what he's created, I don't know, and I know I've talked about this on your show before. What happens inside the Minnesota Vikings stadium is different than anywhere else that you will go in the National Football League, and it's because of Brian Harper and the people that he has brought in. Every year, sports teams or sports organizations have this big conference called the Idea Conference. So NBA teams, college sports teams, NHL teams, baseball teams, they all come to this conference, and of course there's lots of this going on, lots of beers at night, but then they have, little breakout sessions where you learn about the newest technologies and whatever. Well, all of these teams submit videos of what they do in their stadiums, whether it's baseball or hockey or whatever. So then they go, okay, everybody, let's vote on the best hockey program. And so that gets an award. Let's bet on the best baseball program. And then they have, let's bet on the best overall program. Well, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think this is pretty close. In football, the Vikings have won the best overall program 7 of the last 9 years. Mm-hmm. And they've won the best football program 7 of 9, and they've won the best overall program in all of sports like 2 of the last 5 years.
Yep.
The Minnesota, what you see in the stadium is not what everyone else gets. And one of the things that's so amazing, and it stuck out to me as soon as I got here, and you probably don't notice this, but when you walk into U.S. Bank Stadium for a Vikings game, and you're there for 3.5 hours, you are not sold a single thing. There is not a commercial anywhere.
That's interesting.
And if you go to almost any other stadium, for instance, I came from the Denver Broncos. I did the Broncos for 16 years. I read, I'm not kidding, at least 70 commercials a game.
Wow.
Fans, be sure you get the official tire of the Denver Broncos. Fans, when you need a personal injury attorney, be sure to get the personal injury attorney of the Denver. Fans, be sure to drink Pepsi. It's the constantly during the timeouts. Awesome. I'm reading commercials. At the Vikings game, the Vikings and Brian Harper did this.
Yep.
Appreciate the money you are spending and the reason you are there. And it sure as hell is not to find out who the personal injury attorney is of the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. I love that.
Personal injury stray.
I was going to ask you something a bit off topic, though, in terms of not just what you've built and been able to be a part of here in Minnesota, but he intros all the other things that you've gotten to be a part of as part of your career. What would you say, the most special event that you've gotten to voice? I mean, whether it's Olympics and Super Bowls, of course, maybe World Cup soccer. You think about all the things that are on your resume either now or certainly still to come. What has been the most special thing that you've been a part of?
And that's what's really cool about my job is doing
it's like picking your kids.
Is doing 12 World Cup games in Moscow cooler than doing the Super Bowl where David Tyree caught the ball on his helmet?
Oh, wow.
I mean, what's better?
That's a great point.
I can't pick. I get asked that all the time. What's the best? I will say one, and this isn't. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. Not even gonna.
What do you mean?
One of the things that always comes to mind, one of the most special moments, and it's not the most special, But one of the most special moments that always comes out of my mouth when I'm asked is in 2001, I'm sitting, here's the glass on the ice at the Avalanche game, and I'm sitting at the red line with the microphone, and I say, ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup. And the commissioner comes out with the Stanley Cup, hands it to Joe Sakic, who immediately turns around and hands it to Ray Bourque in his 22nd year, winning his first Stanley Cup.
Yep.
That moment is one of the most iconic ever in the NHL. And I was as far away as the bar from that.
And your voice began to crack because you're either crestfallen from the moment a quarter century later, or you're concerned 3/4 of Buffalo Wild Wings Egan has just turned on you. Because we're the state of hockey. Hey, that's Alan Roach, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to stick around for another segment. He's the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox. Very nice. He came out to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, we have, you had asked who goes to 3 or more feasts over the course of the season. And behind us, we have some lovely ladies who basically go to every feast all year. One of them, we heard her asking Mike Florio a question. And so we appreciate Katie and everybody involved. But they had asked, given the final of the feast, we won't have a feast next week. But on Tuesday, we're throwing birthday shout-outs, and everybody's turning the corner, and the calendar is opening up. On Tuesday, January 6th, this next Tuesday, the host of 9 to Noon, the voice of the Minnesota Vikings, is turning 60 years old.
Aw, shucks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And so they asked that in lieu of a feast next week, that we just give a good shout out to the host of 9 to Noon. Give him a round of applause. VA turning the corner another decade. We got a cake in the mix here.
Right on.
The banker, he took the jacket off so that he could bring you the cake.
If the banker's bringing up the cake, does that mean there's like a
Vault?
like a 529 or some kind of 401k in there?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Direct your attention to the birthday cake and sing happy birthday to PA.
Let's hear it, Rubes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Polly.
Hey!
Happy birthday to you.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Happy 60, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll blow it out. Ready? Amen. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back. Hey, Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, Egan for the final football. What? Giovanni Fitzsimmons right here, his 12th birthday. Happy birthday, my brother, Giovanni Fitzsimmons. We got all his albums.
Get him some cake.
Happy birthday. Yeah,
good name.
Yeah, we got some cake back there. Here. Oh, no, that's J-Dubs. You ain't taking J-Dubs cake. Help yourself right there with some birthday cake for you, okay? All right, Alan Roach, at Mile High Roach via the tweet machine, voice of U.S. Bank Stadium, and much more. He'll be on the microphone Sunday beginning at 9:30. Forget the rehearsal part, gates open in...
Attention, U.S. Bank Stadium. Mm-hmm. Gates will open in 1 minute.
Yes.
And nobody gets to hear that.
I hear it all the time.
I hear it every week.
A 30, a 15, a 1, and then they come rolling in, and then the box does this thing. Who is the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback next season? J.J. McCarthy, Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow, or other?
J.J. McCarthy.
Why?
He's 5-4 as a starter. He is growing as a quarterback. Biggest concern with J.J. McCarthy is he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Got to play, kid. And let's hope that this is a one-off and it's going to be another 8 years before he misses 5 or 6 games in a season. And that happens with players. Who knows? And maybe these are all freak injuries. But that right now, I have much more concern about staying healthy than I do about becoming a good quarterback.
Where's Giovanni Fitzsimmons? I got a KFAN shirt for you here as a birthday gift. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Harrison Smith, returning or not returning, in your fan-loving mind, not that you're in the meeting room or you're a decision maker in this regard. What do you think about number 2-2, the career that he's had, the chance you've gotten to watch him since the opening of U.S. Bank Stadium nearly a decade ago? Just where you at with Hitman?
I think that is going to go to who the defensive coordinator is going to be. I do not think that Harrison Smith will come back to be part of a new defense. I think it will be hard for Harrison Smith to come back as a player in the defense if Beeflo is not there. Why would Beeflo not be there? I heard you guys talking about Pittsburgh. I think with Beeflo going to Pittsburgh, that's the one that makes the most sense. But the two things I think that we as Viking fans have going for us, and it's not like we're rooting against Beeflo. He deserves everything.
No, wait, sorry. We're say it.
It's not like we're birds or lizards.
Yeah.
We're Vikings.
How about that?
That's on the screen. That was a Bud Grant quote. That was quote Bud Grant.
Yeah.
That's on the screen every week in the opening.
Okay.
It's not like we're lizards or reptile or birds or reptiles. But if I don't want to root against Beeflo, but that's kind of what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
In order to be selfish as a Viking fan. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had a defensive head coach for 19 years in a row or whatever, and even Cowher was before that, and in your face. And so I would think that Pittsburgh needing a quarterback is going to look more for someone who's going to develop a young quarterback, and then we go to the whole Tua Tagovailoa comments of 2 years ago, and who knows whether that's sour grapes or whatever.
You dropping the mic only happens at Ball Arena. It never happens at U.S. Bank Stadium.
So I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be in the market for
We'll see.
Brian Flores. So I think that means both he and Hitman will be back next year.
I'd love that if that happens.
My question, during a season like this, when you're like on the mic for some of these games, is it hard to keep the emotion out of it, or do you want the emotion in it? Like, how do you navigate that?
I think for the first few years I had to monitor the emotion and not the mad emotion, the angry emotion when an interception or a loss, because I got used to that for no matter what team I've announced for 20 years before that. I knew that you have to remain professional. But I kind of tried to temper the excitement a little bit and bring it down and make sure that but over the last 4 or 5 years, I'm like, no, let it ride. Look at the stadium and the fans in this place.
Hard
and how they react. I came home last week and told my wife, this sounds ridiculous because the Vikings are not in the playoffs and this game meant nothing. I had seriously more fun announcing last week's game than I've ever had announcing any game anywhere.
Really?
I was more into last week's game than any other game I've ever announced in my 30-plus years.
So I think, and Alec picked up on this too, the joy in the building was palpable. I mean, you could just feel the happiness and the joy within the fan base.
And it was, it's first down and the crowd's going crazy, and it's a 2-yard loss on a running play. Now the crowd is louder. Now it's a 7-yard sack. The crowd is even louder. Now it's 3rd and 19, and the place is going crazy.
Hey!
Yeah.
It was also like, you didn't know what time it was in there. It was like dark, so you kind of just felt
the Snoop bit was the bomb.
Yeah, it was
like Snoop, the country lady, and then opera guy at the end. I left it being like
it was Andrea Bocelli. It's not
Andrea Bocelli. That's right. I left it being like, just do that at the Super Bowl. as opposed to
Andre Bocelli
Word Bunny or whatever
might
my
be
man's
the
name
Vox
is
of all
nobody's heard of.
Vox.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
I was like, this is nuts.
Okay, what is the first Super Bowl you voxed, and what was that like?
First Super Bowl was probably January of 2006. It was the Steelers and the Seahawks.
Oh, at Ford Field.
Ben Roethlisberger versus Hasselbeck. It was the very last game for Jerome Bettis.
Antoine Randall threw a touchdown pass to
Yes, he
Hines
did.
Ward.
Yes, he did. And the Super Bowl halftime show, ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones.
Hey!
That's good.
All right.
Amazing.
Super-
I dropped the mic after that day and said, I'll never do anything cooler than this. And I've done 17 more, so it's pretty amazing.
Super Bowl 52 at U.S. Bank Stadium. Billy beats New England 2 weeks after 3 weeks after the Minneapolis Miracle, 2 weeks after your favorite team takes a 7-0 lead at Lincoln Financial, then gets outscored like 38-0. What was that like?
You see the shirt I'm wearing right now?
Well, no, it's radio. How would you introduce the player like if he was running out of the
I'm
tunnel?
wearing my 1975 throwback Alan Page jersey. The first day I wore this jersey on a game day was NFC Championship game against the Eagles.
Burn it.
Yeah. And so now
Go back to the Spurgeon win.
I brought it back one time last year because I'm like, we're going to get through this. Guess which game I wore it last year?
Oh, the Arizona game?
One week before
Detroit?
Oh, Detroit.
Can't wear that ever again.
that. So I thought I'd be safe wearing it here, and maybe it would be cleansed or somehow
Good idea.
exercised.
So you're the consummate professional relying on mailbox money. So therefore, your personal proclivities and or adoration for a team and what happened 2 weeks previous, you said, ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Nick Foles. You still got to bring it, right?
I'll be honest. Of all the Super Bowls I've done, I have less memories of that one than any other.
Right.
Because I was here in town the whole week leading up to it, and the 25 people that are in my crew, whether it's cameramen or computer operators or the DJ or whoever the group is that deals with the in-game entertainment, 7 times a day they would look at me and I would just be pouting in the corner, and I would say, you guys can't imagine what today would be like if the Vikings were in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was 6 below zero, and there were 25,000 people at the corner of 10th and Nicollet dancing in the street, and they're like, this is unbelievable. Can you believe how many people are out there? And I said, if the Vikings were here, every corner in downtown would look like this.
Remember doing Radio Row that week?
Yeah, it was tough.
I mean, you got, hey, it's Marcus Mariota brought to you by Spam. And then Golden Tate's walking around with a Hershey's chocolate jersey, just the money game. And we're sitting, you want to talk about pouted, sitting in Radio Row with him in charge for an entire week, having to watch the glee and the love and the beauty of what was to come for two teams. And we were right there at the doorstep, and we completely bleeped it up.
Until it, on Tuesday or Wednesday, it popped. The Kansas City Chiefs are moving on from Alex Smith. He's going to become the Washington Redskins quarterback. And then, 3 hours later, we're wrapping up 9 to noon, third floor Mall of America. We're at a break, and Nordo and I turn around, and where you are compared to where we are, well, there's Kirk Cousins sitting at our table, doing some kind of an interview right there, and talking about Minnesota and what options could be, and I got to digest all this stuff like
hot
that.
That became, man.
I'll never
defense.
forget
We're just
that.
a quarterback away, Vikings fans, and Kirk's going to be available. Hey, you took a little discount to choose us over the Jets. This is the best.
Yeah.
Super Bowl or bust.
Kirk's no.
I feel bad watching you guys.
My post game after that Super Bowl.
Watch Monday night.
Super Bowl got over at 8:30 p.m. or some local time, I suppose. By about an hour it took me to wrap up my stuff and get out of the stadium. The traffic was so bad that I just walked back to my hotel I was staying at the Crown Plaza, like at 7th and Marquette or something.
Yeah,
I don't think it's there
the one right
anymore.
by Rick's Cabaret.
Yeah, actually it is. And I walked back to my hotel in 0-degree weather, and I had to pack because I had to leave my hotel at 3:30 in the morning to catch a flight to Chicago to then catch a flight to Pyeongchang for the Olympics. So I was on an airplane for like 17 hours.
That's
the next
still
day.
the bomb. Doing the. So are you going to Milan?
I am going to. Well, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to
Right
be the
after.
voice of the Olympics. Are you kidding me? Again.
Same thing. It's San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get a flight right out of San Francisco at 9:30 p.m. to get to Munich to then go to. But I don't think I'm going to get that flight. The Super Bowl won't get over till 7:30 California time. I can't make it from San Jose to San Francisco 2 hours after the Super Bowl. There's
Vox
no way.
problems.
No way.
Are you in the mix for World Cup games too?
Yeah, all the World Cup games next summer. Yeah.
So for Team USA, what are they? Seattle and LA, maybe on the West Coast. You're going to get to do that too.
There's like 16 cities in North America.
Yeah. I was just curious if it was specific to the Americans.
No, they haven't. I haven't signed any deals, but I've been talking with
All right, that's awesome. What's the
FIFA
freaking World Cup?
to do World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
It would be really cool if I could bounce around. Do a game in Vancouver and do a game in LA and do a game in Chicago, and that's the way I hope it would go. But I don't get picked.
What would your when you're getting into radio? What would that self have thought of what you've been able to see and do?
Well, and when I got into radio, I was a music guy for the first 20 something years of radio. I played music. I played country for the first 9 months, and that was like, okay, I'm going to quit and never do this again because I hate country music.
Why didn't you like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?
Yeah. I could not stand it. But then I got into classic rock. Right when classic rock stations started popping up all over the country, I was right at the beginning of that. And so for 20 years, I played Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones.
Freebird?
Pink Floyd.
There we go.
Yep. And I did that forever and ever. And, there's only like 500 songs that a classic rock station plays. Mm-hmm. And you can play 14 songs an hour. So do the math. You play almost 400 a day. So I did that for 20-something years. So I played the same 500 songs forever, but loved it. And it wasn't until much later that I started the sports stuff. So I had no idea when I got into radio that I'd ever have anything to do with sports.
It's just crazy. The arc is wild
and
to me.
When you go a segment in 3/4, we got about 5 minutes left with the Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox. But, for those of you who listen to KFAN or listen to 9 to noon, we'll get 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes into it. Joining us now, Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. Nordo, got a question? There's no reintroduction needed here. When it comes to that voice, the white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I know you got more questions on there.
I only have one.
Okay. I thought of something this week that I wanted to talk about. That deals with officiating in the NFL. 2 things that need to be changed.
Go ahead,
one, I think, is easy. And I saw it in the Sunday night or the Monday night game last week, and we see it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I understand a couple of years ago when they made the rule about when you sack the quarterback, you can't fall on him with your weight.
Body weight.
And I get it. I know the reason for the rule, but that rule is changing games.
Yeah.
One of the biggest
subjective
plays in the game on a 3rd down when the game is on the line and the defense puts forth their best effort and they sack the quarterback because the middle linebacker runs straight ahead for 7 steps, dives at the quarterback, makes the sack. The game is flag down.
Yeah.
First down for the offense. Yeah. That's got to change.
It's crazy.
It's awful.
We can't continue that. And here's another one which is way, way out there.
Yeah.
But we see it also, and it was in these same games a week ago. With all of the replay and cameras and people in dark rooms that are calling the referee in the ear and randomly saying, "Oh no, that was a first down. Oh no, that was a catch. Oh no, what do they call it?
The expedited review or something, or replay assist.
Replay assist.
That's what it is.
Okay. In the next several years, I hope that something that we hear on NFL games is The penalty was deemed irrelevant to the outcome of the play.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So obscure holding penalties
It
opposite
was just last week. I think it was the Sunday night game. I don't even remember who was playing. The quarterback is getting ready to throw. He's getting smashed in the face by two guys, and they called a defensive pass interference over here where the quarterback's not even looking.
Bastards.
It happens all the time.
And the referee, the official's job is to watch one thing. My job is to watch any receiver that comes in here. Watch. Oh, there's holding. And then they look up to see whether it's holding or whether it's pass interference if the ball is there.
Yeah.
With all the replay that we have, why is a grab or a touch over here on the sideline when the quarterback is sprinting towards the opposite sideline? Why does that change the outcome of the play and oftentimes change the outcome of the game?
I mean, why do you keep looking at me? Who do you think I am, Bernie Kukar? And we're also up against break. Alan Roach, ladies and gentlemen, the Vox of all Voxes, Everett to Vox. You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Egan. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium, and I can't wait for August of next year.
Preach. That's nice. Give him a big round of applause. Very cool he came out here with his family.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back. Alrighty, everybody. On behalf of KFAN and the Friday Football Feast team here, Coors Light, Coors Beer, round of applause for the support they give the feast.
Absolutely.
And have for many, many years with those unbelievably cool tickets they give away. Don't forget, before you leave, please tip the servers and the bartenders exponentially. The show begins at 9. They were here a long time before that. Generally don't open till 11 in the morning. So you have some ladies and gentlemen who have put in a lot of time in service of you. So tip very nicely before you leave, please. Round of applause for these servers helping us at Buffalo Wild Wings Egan. And on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you for coming to the Friday Football Feast whenever you do.
It's awesome.
Yeah, the crowds have been terrific this year. The engagement's been absolutely fantastic. And, we at KFAN or maybe 9 to noon, if we don't tell you enough how much we respect you, how much we need you, and how dedicated you are, it's in our, I can't speak for everybody else, but it's in our hearts. Because it's proven out over the years the dedication listeners have to FM 100.3 KFAN, and it's been fantastic. And all of you have a lot to do with that and your adoration for the station and the Vikings. And finally, this is my 15th year doing the feast, and my first with Alec and Nordo. And it was a difficult adjustment when Paul Charchian in April said that he was leaving, but it was very easy to fill the spot. With two of my dear friends. A round of applause for Alec Lewis, Athletic, Nordo, producer 9 to noon. It's been great doing the feast with you guys this year, man, and I love you guys. Jared Wells, ladies and gentlemen, on the sound. Nick Madden and his street team. Devin Ward back at KFAM. The Vikings are going to beat the Packers this weekend. They're going to finish 9-8, and then we'll do a feast again next year. God bless all of you. Happy New Year, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, all right? Bye-bye.